now going to preview who we think are our MVP picks for the 2019 NFL season. Brought to you by, we don't have a sponsor yet.
Brought to you by the Second Stringers. So we should, I think we should start at the top here. So who do you think the most valuable player in the NFL next year is going to be?
Andrew Luck.
That's a good guess.
That's my guy.
I had that written down, but I deleted it.
That's my guy. Andrew Luck is my guy.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Why did you choose him?
Okay, first of all, I think the Colts are going to be dirty.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the Colts are winning minimum 12 games.
Yep, that's very fair.
I think Andrew Luck's going to throw for somewhere around 4,700, 5,000 yards, somewhere in there. He's going to break 40 touchdowns. He's just going to do what they did last year after they figured it out with Frank Reich. And
I like that pick.
He could have won it last year. He was very close to winning it last year. If Patrick Mahomes wasn't Patrick Mahomes, I think he would have won it last year. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Luck's the kind of guy who he's gonna win one.
Yeah,
and I think
definitely
at least one. Let's be real.
You think it's this year?
I think this is the year where Colts step up. Hopefully they can beat the Patriots at some point in his career.
You never know.
He's something like 0-6 against Brady. It's something hilarious like that.
Yeah, that's tough.
But my MVP pick is not own a cell phone.
Well, it's a good pick, I think. I kind of back it. I had that written down originally, but I wasn't really feeling it, so I went with my gut. I went with last year's MVP winner. Just a classic. I think it's going to go Patrick Mahomes again. I mean, he's got a similar team to last year, just a better defense. And he's an unbelievable quarterback that I've never seen someone like him. He's a special talent, and I think he's going to be good this year. So I got Patrick Mahomes as my MVP for the upcoming season.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was John Middlecoff. Shout out John Middlecoff for answering our question on his podcast, the 3-and-Up podcast. He's a good listen. He knows what he's talking about. Former NFL scout. Great podcast if you're looking for a good NFL podcast to get into. But I think he was saying, because Mahomes is a huge favorite to win the MVP this year. On basically every single Vegas book you can get the number on, he's number one by quite a bit. And the thing is, he's like, what are the odds he wins it back-to-back? We haven't seen back-to-back since Peyton Manning in 08 and 09. So, what are the odds?
Be special.
Yeah, and he's like, what are the odds? It's very unusual you see back-to-back NFL MVPs unless you're just dealing with an all-time great. And then he kind of paused, and he's like, might just be dealing with an all-time NFL great, I guess. That just might be where we are right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
I'm really excited for this year from him, to be honest. It's if he backs everything up, I mean, I'm very excited for it. It's gonna be a show.
He's in an interesting place because you look at his numbers: 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards. Everyone knows what he did. But the thing is, when you think he'd have to do better than that to go back to back, just to create the full-on narrative that he's, you know what I mean? Don't you think so? Imagine
very similar, of course.
So this guy just casually has to be the third time in NFL, fourth time, because Peyton Manning did it. Fourth time in NFL history, just throws for 50 touchdowns. He'll be the first person to do it twice, and
that'd be insane.
Throw for 5,000 yards in his second year starting again, just like a cat.
That'd be it'd be awesome. But we decided with our MVP to make a second category with a bit of an asterisk next to it. It's a non-MVP or non-quarterback MVP.
Yeah.
And who did you choose as your candidate for that?
Here you go.
Your winner.
Okay. Because I ripped mine out.
My winner most of the time when you think of an MVP, you think offense, but I think, the most dominant defensive player in the NFL right now. I chose Aaron Donald.
Oh, okay.
The animal himself, 99 overall in Madden. Like, that matters. But he's he's an unstoppable force that just keeps getting stronger. And I mean, if you've ever been on his Instagram,
he's a terrifying guy.
You'd just be terrified to ever line up. You feel bad for everybody that has to line up across from him. He's a monster, and I think that if it's not a QB, I think it's gonna be Aaron Donald.
He's definitely in the discussion for people you don't want to see, like you would never want to tackle you.
Yeah.
If you had to pick like one person in the NFL who could not tackle you, he would. For a long time, it was Ray Lewis.
Yep. I think he's kind of slid in there.
Yeah, I think he might.
I mean, he'd snap me in half, putting it nicely. Like he would murder me.
It's a terrifying thing where like you have to be hit by one, him or Khalil. Like what? Like, like what's the choice here?
It's like being stuck between a rock and a hard place, you know. Just
one-on-one pitch drill. You have to block one of them. Full on, ready to go.
And they're getting a run at me, or
no? It's just
am I a lineman?
You're a lineman.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not. You don't have to block. What do you want?
Neither.
I'm going Khalil.
Yeah, he'd put me on the ground faster just because he's a bit taller. I think
I'd go with Khalil because he's faster. So like.
Aaron Donald will just bulldoze you.
Like Khalil would just, I feel like, just like kind of rip past you without even trying. Whereas Aaron, I think, would just he's the kind of guy who would definitely just get the pleasure of just running you over. And like he'd be the guy who accidentally stepped on you after.
Yeah, exactly. It would not be fun.
Man, he posts one picture every week or so where you're just like, that is terrifying.
Yeah, he's like a meat wagon. He's not tall. He's just jacked. Like, not even funny how jacked he is. So, yeah, Aaron Donald, meat wagon, but he's also my non-QB MVP. Who do you take for that?
I went with the guy who's not in camp right now, Ezekiel Elliott.
Wow.
I think he would have gotten consideration last year if you started ranking non-quarterbacks MVPs. He would have been definitely up there. Led the NFL in rushing last year. Don't really see a reason he won't this year, especially with their offensive line getting healthy again. Frederick's coming back after not playing at all last year, so they're getting their center back. I mean, if that offensive line is healthy, you put Zeke back there behind it. Obviously,
that's a nice spot to be in.
Obviously, it's a little concerning he's not in camp right now, but is it that inconceivable to see Zeke? I feel like it would almost be disappointing. He's the kind of guy where he puts up 1,500 yards on a year, and you're like, that's like a little low, but he'll lead the league in rushing with like 1,500 to 1,600 yards is my guess. He had 1,470-ish, I think, last year. And then also throw up probably 60-ish, 70-ish catches, 60 to 70 catches. Probably, I wouldn't even be surprised if he broke 2,000 all-purpose this year. I think that's a reasonable number for him to shoot for.
I'm with you on that.
And if you're in and around the 2,000 all-purpose area, unless you're Christian McCaffrey and no one pays attention to you, that's definitely a MVP non-quarterback kind of season. And
oh yeah.
I don't see any reason why Dallas isn't better than last year. So again, yeah, I think
I like
Zeke's the MVP of that team. I think he knows that. I think whatever you want to say about him off the field, on the field, he's twice as good as he is the person off the field, at least.
No, I agree with you on that. I think that's a good decision. I mean, he carries that team.
He's the rare running back who was taken the pick before Jalen Ramsey, who's an all-pro level corner, and you think, man, I don't know if I'd rather have the all-pro level corner. I think he's maybe the only guy in the NFL outside of Saquon where you could say that as a running back, where you'd rather have
Yeah,
him than the best player in another position. Like he's that free, he's that good.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
So yeah, give me Zeke all day.
I like it. I got Aaron Donald. I kind of like my choice too, to be honest with you. But
Aaron Donald's definitely the guy who, like, if he sets the sack record as an interior lineman, that's disgusting. That's just
yeah,
like he almost did it last year. Which
I think if he does it, which could happen, that's an MVP right there.
I don't know how, like, if the Rams win, because I just explained what it would take for Zeke to be a conceivable MVP in like around 2000. Cowboys win. Cowboys would have to win like 12 games. That's one of the other things. For Aaron Donald to win it, the Rams have to win 12 to 13 games. Jared Goff has to throw for like under probably 45, enough that like you can't argue it's an offensive team too much. Like they have to, like, their offense can't be too good because otherwise the quarterback will just take it.
Yeah.
And then if Aaron sets the sack record, there's no way you can't not.
Yeah, that's very true.
Like if you set the sack record for the position where you're not supposed to do that, that makes, I don't think people realize how insane that is. That's the equivalent of a tight end leading or setting the NFL record for receiving yards. Like, is it possible? Yeah, but like, come on, man, that's not going to happen, right? Unless it's Aaron Donald.
Someone comes along and
it's like the same thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.